Welcome back to A2HEROES, the home of Black Dragon and Pink Firefly. If you're someone who's tired of modern day Hollywood stories, modern day books and pop culture, politically charged storytelling, and things like that, this video is for you. A2HEROES is the home of Black Dragon and Pink Firefly, a dark comedy series that refuses to adhere to modern day norms. There's no wokeism, no girl bosses, no left wing bullshit, no right wing bullshit, no feminism, no socialism, no lecturing. Just good stories. Yesterday we went over Supergirl and its release disaster and the entire debacle that surrounded it, following it from conception to release. Today we're going to be going over Spiderman and its release. Amazing release jubilation. Its release success. Today we're going to be covering the box office records, its performance, and touching on the story. I watched this movie a week or two ago with my friends when it first came out. I was there on the night after it released on the Friday, and I watched it at like 7 p.m. in VIP. It was really cool. So today we have a bunch of articles loaded up just to go over and touch on as we discuss Spider-Man. The first one is from Chosen Daily, and it's called Spider-Man Brand New Day Shatters Box Office Records Globally. Earning $1.665 billion, Spider-Man eyes a $3 billion record of Avatar and Endgame. Hell yeah. So this article is by Osen. It said the movie Spider-Man Brand New Day, directed by Destin Cretton and distributed by Sony Pictures, has achieved remarkable box office success, topping the North American box office in its second weekend after its release. On August 10, the film Spider-Man Brand New Day, which has captivated domestic theaters by mobilizing 6 million viewers at the fastest pace this year, is drawing attention for setting another remarkable record in North America. According to Box Office Mojo, Spider-Man Brand New Day ranked first in North American weekend box office in its second week, according to box office revenue of $145 million. Wow. This is the third highest record for a second weekend performance in North America, following after Star Wars The Force Awakens, which had $149 billion, just about $4 billion more, and Avengers Endgame, which had $147 million, just about $2 million more. That's amazing. According to the foreign media outlet Variety, Spider-Man Brand New Day surpassed $1.1 billion in global box office revenue within 7 days of its release, establishing itself as the highest grossing film of the year. As of August 10th, that's the Monday, the film surpassed $655 million, wow, in North America, and $1.665 billion worldwide, continuing its unstoppable box office run. Incredible. The movie was really good. It deserves a lot of that. It's by no means perfect. No movie is perfect. No story is perfect. But this was a good movie. With its explosive box office performance expected to continue into its third week, Variety is focusing on whether Spider-Man Brand New Day can surpass the all-time global box office records of Avatar, $2.9 billion, and Avengers Endgame, $2.7 billion, to become the first film to break $3 billion in worldwide revenue. Wow, that would be incredible. Shout out to Tom Holland. I'll be really happy for him. Alongside this, the Tom Holland Spider-Man series, also known as Tom Spider, includes Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017 with 7.25 million viewers, Spider-Man Far From Home in 2019 with 8.02 million viewers, Spider-Man No Way Home, which was in 2021 with 7.55 million viewers, and Brand New Day is expected to surpass all those records. So I believe Tom is in about 3 of the 4 or 5 highest ever rating Marvel projects ever released in like the last 5 to 10 years, like Avengers and Spider-Man, things like that. So I'm really happy for Tom. Good stuff for him. Spider-Man Brand New Day shatters box office records globally. Well said. Well flippin' said. Let's go into the next article. All the box office records Spider-Man Brand New Day has broken so far. So Spider-Man Brand New Day has done a lot in the theaters, and on its current run, it's broken massive amounts of records. It's fueling box office momentum, and the billion-dollar movie makes its comeback. Let's go, Parker. So, the article from Dessert.com says, Spiderman breaks almost all the box office records that a movie can. After just 7 days on screen, Spider-Man Brand New Day roared past Toy Story 5 to become the highest grossing film of the year, providing a much needed burst of energy to Marvel Studios amid growing superhero fatigue. A stellar second weekend pushed the film's worldwide total to $1.65 billion, putting it on track to become the 8th film to ever cross the $2 billion mark during its theatrical run. Wow, that's really impressive. The 8th film ever to cross $2 billion during its theatrical run. There's only 8 of those in the world. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. The article goes on to say, Brand New Day also delivered a record-breaking second weekend at the domestic box office, earning $145 million, the third highest second weekend of all time. Only 8 films have ever surpassed 100 million in their second weekend. Holy. I'm going to look up what those 8 films are. I'm going to look up what the 8 films that have surpassed 100 million in their second weekend are. I'm also going to look up the list of films that have ever crossed the $2 billion mark globally. Like 100%. That's going to be cool. Because Spider-Man is now amongst the greats. So only 8 films in cinematic history have ever grossed over $2 billion globally at the worldwide box office when you don't adjust for inflation. The first one is Avatar from 2009, and that was $2.92 billion. Wow. The next one is Avengers Endgame. That was in 2019, 10 years later, at $2.8 billion. Nice. The next one, Avatar Avengers, was Avatar, The Way of Water in 2022. That's $2.34 billion. And then we had Titanic, the classic, in 1997 at $2.26 billion. That's really cool to see that Spider-Man is standing up here amongst the great cinematic classics like Titanic. It's really nice. Naja 2, that was in 2025 at 2.5 or 2.15 billion. I have to watch that. I don't know if Naja 2 is a good movie, but it's very highly critically acclaimed. Let's see what it's like, what my impression of it is. Then we have Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens in 2015. That was a $2.07 billion project. And Avengers Infinity War in 2018, they had $2.05 billion under their belt. And Spider-Man Brand New Day, most recently in 2026, that's $2.02 billion. That's really cool. That's really cool. So let's go on with the article. They said, after nearly a decade of uneven box office performance from Marvel, Brand New Day has broken a string of box office records, overtaking Avengers Endgame in several categories while coming remarkably close in others. Here are all the box office records that Spider-Man Brand New Day has broken so far. Biggest box office opening of all time, grossing $360 million and surpassing Avengers Endgame. Hell yeah. Biggest opening day ever with $169 million. Second biggest global opening of all time, making $932 million, trailing only Avengers Endgame. Biggest preview haul of all time, made $72 million with that. Fastest to reach $250 million domestically, they crossed the line in just 2 days. Holy, $250 million domestically, they crossed in just 2 days. Dude, the next movie has to do it in like 1 day if they want to beat that. Fastest to reach $500 million domestically. It reached it in its first week. The first film to ever do so. Biggest Monday ever, with $46 million, beating Black Panther. Nice. Another Marvel movie. Spider-Man is really doing well. Biggest Tuesday ever, with $42 million, surpassed the franchise's own Spider-Man Far From Home. Hell yeah. Biggest Monday and biggest Tuesday. fastest to reach 250, fastest to reach 500. Crazy. And the biggest 10-day start. Of all the movies ever released in the history of cinematic releases, this movie had the biggest 10-day start at $655 million. That's insane. That's insane. They made $600 million in 10 days. Third largest second weekend ever. So they grossed out $143 million on their second week, right behind Endgame and Avengers Infinity War. Really cool. And second fastest movie to reach $1 billion worldwide, reaching the milestone in 6 days, trailing only Endgame. Really cool. They were also the fastest, or the second fastest movie to reach $1 billion internationally, reaching the mark in 12 days behind Endgame. I don't know what the difference is between reaching $1 billion worldwide and reaching $1 billion internationally. Maybe that's just the whole world without North America. Maybe worldwide is the whole world, and maybe domestic is just North America. It's the highest grossing Hollywood film in India. Nice, reaching 52 million, overtaking the previous record holder, Avatar: The Way of Water. Nice. Set all-time opening weekend records in more than a dozen countries, including France, Brazil, Spain, Peru, Chile, Saudi Arabia, Colombia, Belgium, and Turkey. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they set all-time opening weekend records in more than a dozen countries. That means worldwide, all over the world, people came out to see this movie. People wanted to see this movie. That's amazing. That's amazing. As the 9th live-action installment in the Spider-Man franchise, Brand New Day reinforces the character's status as both a fan favorite and a box office powerhouse. Yeah, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. At least he was. Growing up, for me, Spider-Man was one of my favorite superheroes that I ever saw. So I have like a deep love and passion for him. I would love to see more in the future surrounding him. And I have my own takes on him and how to do him better or improved, or just my own unique take on what the Spider-Man mythos should be. The article continues. The Spider-Man films are the only non-Avengers films to rank among Marvel's 5 highest grossing films, underscoring the web-slinger's enduring popularity and his role in the studio's continued success. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige attributes the staggering box office success of Spider-Man with the enduring appeal of Peter Parker and the star power of Tom Holland. Hell yeah. Kevin Feige knows what's right. Kevin Feige knows exactly what's right. He needs to talk with James Gunn. They can go out for tea or something. Tell him how to run a studio. People can write about changing tastes, but as characters that grow and evolve through the decades, there are none better than the Marvel characters, and none better than Peter Parker, Feige told Variety. When you find an actor like Tom Holland to bring that character to life, it is the magic formula. Oh yeah. The article continues. In Brand New Day's shadow, the Odyssey continued its impressive run, earning $31 million during its 4th week, pushing its domestic total to $461 million and worldwide haul to $1.1 billion. The film is now director Christopher Nolan's highest grossing film ever, and the 5th to cross the $1 billion mark this year. That's good for them. That's good for them. I'll talk about the Odyssey later. I really don't like the Odyssey and what it portrays. I haven't seen it myself personally, but just from what I've heard about it, what I've seen released about it, and the comments that have been made in passing about it, I don't like the direction that Christopher Nolan took the movie in. There was absolutely no reason to do that to the classic Greek epic. And someone else needs to come out and do another better, more normal Greek epic that we can all love and appreciate and enjoy. His creative takes were too crazy. They were way too crazy. There was no reason to go all that way and do all that casting bullshit. So that's really cool. That's really cool. China did really well in China did really well in China. Spider-Man did really well in China too as well. Really well in China. The Hollywood Reporter reports that in the global weekend it made $381 million. That's crazy. And it also, according to Ford, beat every other Spider-Man opening, even adjusted for inflation. So that's really cool. I like to see that Spider-Man movie is heading somewhere great and is being cherished and loved by the fans who actually follow that universe. That's the type of story you want to write, the ones that the fans actually enjoy and follow and read and give feedback on. And when it comes out, people actually want to be a part of it. People show up and they line up for it. That's how you win the top release in like 12 different countries in the year 2026. You give the people what they want. You give them something new, you know? Or failing that, you go back to the classics and give them something old. That's what Marvel has done here today. They just stuck to the classics and gave people what they were looking for. A good Spider-Man story with no wokeism, no feminism, no preaching, no girl bosses, no left-wing bullshit, no right-wing bullshit, just good storytelling. So I'm happy to see that Spider-Man actually sticks to that and it wins based off of that. It's really not that hard. That's how you get ahead of 99% of the comics industry, by giving people what they want and sticking to tried and true classics. Alright guys, check out the link below. Head to the website, sign up for the mailing list. Take care.